Well, welcome to another episode of Light Vision Art Q&A. Of course, we have my panel is chiming in. I see Jeff that has jumped in, and of course, I see Claudia. She's already in the queue. We got a great topic that we want to discuss today, and we want you to be a part of that. And one way that you can do that, of course, is you can call in on the show. If you look at the number on the screen, the number is 615-547-3355, or you can email me at lightvisionart@gmail.com. And if you notice, I'm back in my regular studio once again. It's been a while, but we're glad to be back in here. And hopefully we'll be able to get this show started on the right foot. We're going to be talking about location. Now, location can be something we want to discuss in terms of how you plan a shoot, which is 90% of the work, and 90% of the outcome is planning your shoot, planning your location, and getting all of that in place before you get ready to do your shoot. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to have my expert panel chime in about that. I see that Claudia is giggling in the in the background, of course. But in any case, like I said, if you want to be a part of this show or any show that we do have a call-in line. You can call it 615-547-3355. Before we get started, let's do just a little bit of housekeeping. Of course, if you want to be a part of Light Vision Art, the Educated Eye, the Q&A session that we do this Saturday mornings from 10 to 11. It's part of the Light Vision Art curriculum that we do as well, which also includes the Darkroom in Use series. We do talk about the darkroom. It's still very important that we discuss that topic. It is a very big part of what you do as an artist, especially a photographer. And with everything going on in the media today, with politics, you can find me at Line Chasers Radio with Lonnie Poindexter during the weekdays. I am his guest host on the show on Wednesdays. You can find me there at urbanfamilytalk.com, the website as you see, urbanfamilytalk.com, and join me there. If not, you can find me in the classroom as part of the Light Vision Art, the Educated Eye. It's a 16-week course. Comes with the material, the books, and all that helps you get started. And we also teach private classes, which includes me in the classroom as well. Of course, if you're in the private class, we work with you on buying that first camera or whatever you need to get yourself acclimated with the box with the hole in it. And if you need great lenses, you need lenses that are affordable but professional. We recommend you use weeblenses.com to rent your Canon lenses at a fair rate, a reasonable price, and they will get that to you quickly. But as I said before, we are on the show, Light Vision Art Q&A, the Educated Eye. So welcome to the show. Of course, I'm Alfonso Ashworth, your humble host. Let me holler at Claudia right quick. What's up, Claudia?
Morning, Al.
What are you up to?
Very good on this end. I like your new studio. Did they put you in a dungeon?
Yeah, they put me in the cave. I'm back in the cave again. But of course, I'm glad to be back in this part of it because we were doing some work on getting the show back up and running when we stopped on Spreecast, and I just hadn't had time to get everything back like it was before. But We're going to talk about location. And I see that we have Jeff. He's on. Let me get Jeff in here right quick, and then we'll come back to you, Claudia. What's up,
Okay.
Jeff? How's it going, big guy? There you go.
Live.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, great. No, location. We're sitting in the Smoky Mountains.
Right. That's perfect. Perfect timing. Of course, I saw some of the images that you have been posting, and I knew you were on a trip. And I hope you guys are enjoying the beautiful scenery. I see the trees in the background.
Yeah, tried to
Colors.
get the camera to show what's behind me. It's
Yeah.
turning daily.
Yeah. How long are you going to be in the mountains?
We're here till Sunday, leaving.
Yeah. Well,
we came in Sunday and never seen so many people in the mountains this year. And you know, every time I've come up here, I guess there gets to be a few more people. But
right. Well, of course, you're talking about the Great Smoky Mountains, and of course, in the East Tennessee, up in the foothills. Of course, you go on over into the Cherokee area, and then over into North Carolina, and all those areas over there, Virginia, and all those beautiful parts of the country this time of year. Hi, Joni. How you doing?
that's not Joni.
That's not Joni.
Say hello. That's one of my friends.
Joni's got a new hairstyle.
He said,
We're gonna
I'm here with a group, huge group.
Yeah.
Now, so.
Well, I tell you what, you hang tight. We're gonna be talking about location, and I know you got some ideas that you want to add to that. But of course, I'm Alfonso Ashworth this morning with Light Vision Art Q&A. If you want to be a part of the show, hey, you may want to be a part of our guild group. Of course, you can find us on our website at the Wilson County Photography Guild. Just go to wcpgonline.org. And of course, on the website, you will see all the information that we provide. We meet, the places we meet in Lebanon, Tennessee, and we alternate with Mount Juliet, Tennessee. So we meet on the first Monday of the month. Here you see some of the winners from last month. Claudia, unmute yourself for a second.
Yes.
Who was the winner?
Joni. The first one here was, yes.
Yeah. Hey, Joni was the winner last month as part of our photography guild.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, does Joni have something she want to say about that?
She's getting ready. So
well, we'll get her on later.
We'll go get ready for the day. Try and get our makeup and all on.
Tell her we're promoting her. And of course, who did the shot with the muddy little kid here? Anybody?
Jeff, do you remember? Was that Perry Falcon?
Yeah, it was
Perry.
Perry.
Yeah, Perry.
Yeah. Yep.
And so we had 2 featured photographers on our webpage this month. So go to wcpgonline.org. And also, normally we have Christopher in the house, Christopher E. Hamrick, promoting his website. And you can go to his website at christopherhamrick.com and check out some of his images and some of his work. As you can see, he's an excellent photographer, and he's very knowledgeable in the technical end of the cameras, infrared photography, and other things of that sort. Now, find me at Light Vision Art, The Educated Eye. That's lightvisionart.simdif, SIMDIF.com. Go there, find out some video tricks, tips. You can also check out the live stream that we're on at the moment. As you can see, it's playing or it's on my website, so you can find the show there as well, and all sorts of photography tips. And if you need great printing, professional printing services, use Custom Color Photo livepix.com. That's customcolorphoto.livepix.com. Get your cards. As you can see, you get your greeting cards, calendars, prints, enlargements, books, coffee mugs, canvas prints, calendars, you name it. You can get it there at customcolorphoto.livepix.com. Of course, we're going to talk about location this morning. I don't know how many times, matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do a shoot this afternoon on a family farm. And it's not just a farm. It's one of the most beautiful places in the area. It's a private home that's got quite a few acres. And also the family has done a lot of work on the property to keep the place beautiful. And I'm going to be there. I've been on their property before. I would never, ever take a personal client there without permission. And I know a lot of photographers today that will just show up and they'll just use whatever, and sometimes they won't even ask. They'll just go on property and just start shooting. And then they hope that no one runs them away. And I know you guys are very careful about where y'all shoot and what y'all do and getting permission to shoot, because we've talked about that in the guild meetings quite often. And but location is paramount when you're talking about taking portraits, weddings, and even some commercial shooting. And many times what I see that photographers, where they make their biggest mistake, is they pick the wrong location for what they're trying to purvey in their image. They'll just use any background anywhere, and then they try to fix it in Photoshop and try to do all that kind of stuff. And whereas if they had planned well, if they had sat down and actually planned the shoot and properly planned where they're going to shoot and when they're going to shoot, they could save themselves a lot of headaches in Photoshop or any other software package that they may be using. What I see is a lot of photographers are crowding in or taking over locations. I'm not gonna name any photographers, and I'm not gonna name any locations in the area, but some of these places are just overcrowded. You may be planning a wedding portrait and you'll get there and there'll be 10 families there trying to use the facilities, and they don't take care of the property. They leave trash behind. They don't clean up the area when they leave. They sort of treat the property as if it's their own personal property. And so it just makes it more difficult for other people to use these locations. Now, Jeff, I know you do a lot of outdoor photography. You do a lot of things in the outdoor landscape. And we've talked about planning before, like getting prepared to go to a shoot. Of course, you on a vacation or you on a trip right now. So how much have you planned? How much planning was involved when you decided to go to the Smoky Mountains? You know, in terms of your photography, what kind of time did you spend on that?
More planning of, you know, my equipment, cleaning it, making sure it's batteries charged, discs are clean. You know, when you get up here, it's a gamble every year. It's kind of like going fishing. You never know what you're going to get till you get here, unless you've got a lot of input. You know, in me and Joni's case, we have to do it. You know, we're still working every day, so we're not retired. We have to come up at a set schedule, so it is a gamble.
Well, did your gamble pay off this year? Did are the leaves like you expected? Getting to some of the places you wanted to shoot, has that been a problem for you? You've been there almost a week, so
Yeah, it's different every year. This year this year seems to be things are turning colors and then drying up and dying.
right.
Instead of holding the color for a couple of days. A lot of the streams and things, a lot of things have already died and fell off. But since we've been up here, you know, the mountains were green, and now they're gradually turning. You know, they're awesome colors.
Right, within that short period of time.
Yeah. Last year we hit it on the way out. When we were leaving, everything was getting right. And I think we probably hit it at peak, really, but it's a gamble. You know, you try to plan. I've got certain areas that I try to go to every year and hit. And, you know, trees in them areas a lot of times are beautiful red, and then other years they're dead and dried up. This year it was kind of like half and half. So it's, I mean, you do as much planning as you can, but, you know, like I say, it is a gamble. And the other thing you've got to work around up here is the amount of people who are here during this time of year.
Right.
Like I said, I've never seen so many people. We went up and tried to shoot a sunset one night, and usually there's maybe 2 people at that overlook, and there was at least 25 photographers there at that overlook that night, and they were having a class.
Right.
They were up there on a paid adventure, basically what they were doing. So,
right. You know, I had somebody tell me they just recently went to Washington, D.C. You guys know him, Myron Browning. He's been to our group before, but he won't mind me telling you, but he just recently went to Washington, and his whole objective was to go during the times when there were a few people in the city. So you have to go at night, be there early, because before 4 o'clock, there's hardly anyone, 4 o'clock in the morning, that is, there's hardly anyone in the city. So if you want to get that sunrise or that, you know, those spectacular scenic shots, you have to be there early. But he said this year, this time when he went, there were a lot more photographers.
Yep.
Even photographers that were using, that were doing weddings. There were a lot of wedding photographers there this time. So it sort of goes in line with the weather. The weather's been great.
Oh yeah,
in this area, and of course,
you're going to expect to get people in your way up here. So with that amount of people.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know, we're well representative up here. I ran into Kenya out on the trail yesterday, so she's up here with the group. So
Kenna Dossett.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Great. So a small world.
Yeah.
But of course we hey Claudia, in your what you do, you've been doing a lot of photography recently as well, outdoors events that you've been a part of, the job that you do, tailgates and things of that nature. Have you noticed what Jeff is saying, that there are more people out doing photography that you know, normally you wouldn't see that many people. Now all of a sudden it's like everybody's showing up at the same time.
Yeah, with our beautiful city, Nashville, you see that a lot.
Right.
There are certain spots, you know, that are just known for great pictures, and you see a lot of photographers out and about.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, one of the sayings that I have, one of the thoughts that I try to purvey to my students is you should be getting your camera out when everybody else is putting theirs away. And I think too many people been listening to me because it seems like more and more people are getting out at these times when you wouldn't expect them to be out there. Like Jeff is saying, you know, 2 people 1 year, now it's 25, and then there's groups and workshops and, you know, excursions, and it's just the beautiful weather seems to bring people out more. The leaves are turning quickly if you're in this part of the country. I'm not too sure about places like New Hampshire and Maine and all those places up on the upper East Coast. But I know Vermont is a prime stopping point for a lot of photographers. Now, Jeff, you said something that caught my attention. You said you're not retired. Now, I talk to a lot of retired people, and they're traveling, they're coming through in their campers and their fifth wheels and Winnebagos, and they don't seem to be in a hurry when they, you know,
Right.
have they, you know, and that makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I mean, you get to pick and choose what times, you know, at a certain extent. With this area up here, it's a matter of getting a room too at that time of the year. But you know, you can find out from people in the area what's going on, what's the conditions. You know, are we at peak? Are we going to be at peak in 3 weeks?
Right.
You know, I don't have that option really. We have to plan at the first of the year for the end of the year. So it's rolling the dice.
Yeah, and that's true, and that makes it hard if you are planning for a shoot and you have a job other than just, you know, your photography. It's hard to plan a good shoot around that. And I you know, I know photographers who try to do this as weekend warriors, and they have a very difficult time because they're trying to
get into up here.
What's that?
The other thing you're running up to here is, you know, you go to a spot that you want to go to. The sun changes, you know, the light changes constantly, and an area can look drastically different from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, or vice versa. It's because of the drastic mountain shading and different things. You've got to kind of be aware of that.
Yeah, you know, that helps by knowing people in the area. If you can find out from the Information Bureau, or, you know, you talk to the local chamber, you know, find out from the locals, like where are the peak or the best shots and what time. And you may only get one opportunity. I mean, like you saying, you may get one opportunity and that's it. You may not get another chance to go back there during that season. And as you're saying, the leaves are already falling. I've noticed that here. They're turning quickly, but they're also falling off the tree. Now, that could be due to, you know, the dry season. Who is that keep peeking over your shoulder? Is that who I think it is? How you doing, Johnny? Yeah. We were bragging on Joni. Of course, she's getting ready. You guys are getting ready to hit the trails. She's probably getting you rushed, get you ready to go, and get you out of there. Hey, Joni, here's your picture. I was showing you a picture earlier. Let me get your picture back up here. Let's see if we can get it back. How about that? Who's that? Who's that photographer? Like she's walking away. We probably embarrassed. This is part of our guild group. If you want to go to our guild section, go to wcpgonline.org, go to our website, check out what we do, our members, our calendar, about us. You can actually join our group. And if you want to contact one of us, just hit the contact link. And I see we got a link up here for Oktoberfest, which is just recently ended. But go there and check out some of the images. And these are our feature photographers this month. Joni, of course, Coleman is one. And then we have, who was that, Claudia? What's his name again?
Coming right up, right here. Perry Falcon.
Perry Falcon. And he's a regular. And I should be ashamed that I don't know his name, but he is a regular on the at our group. He's an excellent photographer as well. Claudia, you were, of course, recently you doing some things, and you don't have to name the company or do anything like that because I don't want you to do anything that may get you in trouble or anything. But you're doing some things that are unique with your photography. Last week, of course, Christopher E. Hamrick was on the panel, and he showed you a shot to set up something for the youth to get them involved.
You want to join?
Well, I know y'all having a good time.
Jeff on YouTube and get in.
What's on the agenda today, Jeff? What do you have? What do you guys plan?
Try to get Chris on. You remember the night we came in class and I said, hey, that dude up there, I wonder if that's one of my buddies flying that plane, and he's here. And it was him flying the plane. So.
Wow, that's great. What are you guys going to be doing today? Is it something you got?
I think the kids want to go to amusement park or something down there.
Okay.
Something called the Island.
Yeah. So much for the walking trails and all of that. So
we spent a couple hours on the trail yesterday. So they always want to go do a hike. So we took them on a hike. And you see these signs up here. It says quiet walkway and things like that. Well, it wasn't quiet yesterday.
Right. I would imagine it was probably pretty chaotic in Halloween with the Halloween weekend. Claudia, you just recently come back from a Halloween gathering, didn't you?
Yeah, was invited to a Halloween party last week. Started out as the designated driver until, my first question was, can I bring my camera?
Right.
And was exciting for me to, practice a little bit more people photography. I had my flash, tried that out, had a diffuser and all that. Turned out really good, and I think everybody was pleased. And for me, that's a way, maybe starting, I wouldn't say a business, but may get invited next year and get paid for it.
Right.
Well, you go, and the first time might be free, but if they like what you do,
then
they ask you again.
Yeah. We just had one of our group members. He doesn't come regularly. Dickie Brooks. You guys know Dickie.
Yeah.
He just sold a 11 by 14 for quite a bit amount of money to a client of the city of Nashville with the riverboat coming through in the daytime. Of course, we go down there and shoot it at night, but you sort of forget that you could do this in the daytime as well. And it shocked him what the lady was willing to give him for that print. And so you never know when you're going to get paid, how much you're going to get paid. It's a reward for you. Now I do this for a living, So I'm in it every day. I mean, up to here every day in it. So it does make a difference when you are doing this for a job or, location. What we're talking about today, my location, I've been here for 30 years in the same location. And I was fortunate to get this location when I did. It's hard to find a really good location to do a photography business. You sort of trapped between, do I want to be outside the city? Do I want to have land, or do I want to be visible inside of a city landscape to where I get a lot of traffic? So that's catch-22 when you're trying to do that. And that's what we're talking about today. And of course, if you listen to this show or if you view the show later and you want to be a part of the show, you can go to 615, call in at 615-547-3355 during the live broadcast, and we'll get you on air. Or you can email me at lightvisionart@gmail.com. That's 615-547-3355 or lightvisionart@gmail.com. We'll get you on as a guest. We hadn't had a guest in a while because we've been doing this panel series to where I have my panel come on and sort of discuss. But I'm working on 2 or 3 people that I want to get back on the show. One of them is Christian Spurka out of South Africa. I want to get Christian back on. He's had a very busy year. And I also want to get Jeremy Holmes back on. Now, if you want to check out Jeremy and find out what he's doing, one of the things that I have on my website at Light Vision Art, you can go there and there is a live stream. One of the streams is Jeremy's show that we did. So you can go there. Matter of fact, if I click on it, it may play a little bit of it. Let's jump over to Jeremy.
Example. Sometimes
and matter of fact, there's Jeremy.
Get to any storm unless you're driving through a farmer's field.
So you can go there and check out a show that we did with Jeremy about storm chasing. And man, you better know location when you storm chasing. You do not want to be in the wrong place at the right time. If you're chasing tornadoes, and it could be the last tornado you ever see, if you see it. But in any case, Claudia, I'm gonna let you have the mic on some thoughts that you may want to share. What's up in the future? What are you working on? Of course, Claudia works with animals. That's her passion. Don't step on a bug. Don't swat a fly. And you had better not mistreat a dog or a cat. I mean, you'll be done with her. And she's a pretty good shot. Tell us what you're doing. What's in the works?
Actually, I might just come and see you. I did some portraits with a person and the animal that they have as a whole new trial.
Okay.
And I might see you this afternoon and print a couple.
Right.
Yeah, my heart lays in the dog photography, especially rescue dogs. They come to shelters and there's just few avenues to get out for them. So good pictures and a good bio that is posted will save a life. So that's where I found my calling, I guess, and I try to take good pictures and get these dogs new homes and off death row.
We need to get you a website so we can promote you on the website as well, because I know you got Facebook and you do that, and so people can know how to help you help the animals, because you spend a lot of time at this.
Yeah, if you're a photographer and you want to get more, you want to volunteer and do something, ask your local rescues, the shelter. They can all use a photographer. Spend an hour or two a week and help them out. It makes a difference, huge difference.
Makes all the difference in the world. All right,
Yeah.
Jeff, what's on your agenda other than going to the park? What are you doing in the photography world?
Say hello.
Hi.
We're unmuted now. I
Yeah.
got Haley behind me now. She's one of my.
Mr. Photographer?
He's a photographer.
Wow, keep up the good work. We hear you doing very well, and I hear you got a good eye.
Now I will head out. I want to do some night photography. There's a large Ferris wheel that I want to go down and shoot here close. Just get out and shoot a little bit more in the mountains while we're here.
So that's your next step.
That's my goal for the next day or so.
Do you have anything that's coming up that you're working on, say for winter, or that you planning? Do you have any thoughts in that area? Have you start even thinking about it for the fall of the year, further into the winter months?
No, not really. Some of the things I'm wanting to do is I want to look into more micro photography and play with that a little bit, understand that. Started, playing around with it a little bit, but just now, diving into that world, and it's a whole new world, really.
Right, especially with the new cameras and lenses, and we discuss that quite often on the show about equipment, and we really appreciate what you add to that. And I am so proud that you are getting the young people involved in photography.
Yeah, Haley's when we were talking about primes a couple of weeks ago. Haley's the little model that I showed.
Okay, very good. Yeah, wow.
Sonny, we got Sonny here. She's
another one.
She's another one. Say hello to Al.
Wow. And you got some beautiful models, and they, of course, if they are interested and involved in photography, we would love to have them come and be a part of our group. Like I said, I want to get something started for the youth, and this may be a seed that we can plant and get them involved. And of course, I see Joni; she's in the background right over there. You guys be safe, okay? Whatever you get into today.
Yeah. It's hard to rock hopping up here. So.
Yeah, but the weather should be nice. It's probably going to be, I know it's going to be 80 in the 80s here. So I'm sure you guys are going to be in the low 80s.
Nice all week. You couldn't ask for better weather, really, up here. But
Perfect. Well, thank you for joining us today, big guy. And tell everyone we said hello and have a great time today, okay?
All right. See ya.
Okay, of course, that was Jeff Coleman, one of our featured panelists on the show. And of course, we have Jeff. He comes on and adds to the conversation. And you can be one of our panelists as well. It's very easy. Just contact me through lightvisionart at gmail.com and ask to be on, and we'll send you an invite. We'll get you on, tell you how to get on, or you can be someone to view the show later on our YouTube channel. You just go to the links that's provided on the screen on the show and share that link with others. We'd like to get our audience more involved. It's always fun talking to other photographers, but my whole objective is to help others become good or better at what they're doing. Recently, one of my former students, she's preparing to go to Israel, and she just brought her camera in, and it looks like it had been run over by a truck. But she has about 6 or 7 kids, so that's what's happened to her camera. But of course, we cleaned it. We're gonna clean it up and try to get it ready for a trip to Israel. Back up her images and try. Hopefully, her camera will stay together for the trip. But I'm not too sure. I'm sort of, worried about that a little bit, Claudia. So, of course, as always, we're getting ready to come up on the end of the show. I want to take just one moment and tell you, go vote. Elections matter. And if you don't vote, don't complain. And if you're going to complain, make sure you get your facts right. Don't sound like a willful idiot. Make sure that you know why you're voting, and make sure you get all the information. This is one of the reasons I'm not a big proponent for early voting, just because of what has happened recently. I'm not going to go into it in any detail. I don't have time. But all this new information is coming out on one of the candidates. If you've already voted, you can't go back and change it now. So make sure you know why you're voting and the reason you're voting, and make sure it's an informed and